And we can talk about Bibles, we can talk about space, we can talk about how American history is, all that. I don't learn all this stuff because they practice too many dark arts. But the takeover started in the 1600s for real. They really started swiping us off in 14 after 1492 where the Spanish and the American War started. But then after the Spanish and the American Wars, by the 1600s, the English came over here with the Dutch and all they terminology and contracts and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Then by the 1700s, they started writing those laws and documents. By the 1800s, the reset happened where they started changing history. And in the 1900s, it's a whole wipe of things that they did. So let's start with the 1929 after they needed to free anybody who was considered a slave so they can pay taxes so the slave mentality would change. All right. Now, 1940s, you got the space projects. That's the fake space project that they started so they can gain control of people's minds. 1950 is when they put the television sets inside of places. 1960 is when they started marking all of the black organizations with authority to check them and infiltrate them. Then by the 1970s, they wanted to stop any freedom movement. So this is why they signed people up for the wars. By the 80s, this is now where they start the drug bust by planting drugs on people. Okay. Oh, if we go back to the 30s too, they got rid of all the striving neighborhoods by floods and by building highways. So they was demolishing any black neighborhood to try to make lakes and highways. All right, and then let's go back to where we at the 1990s after the epidemic of the drug bust, where the gangs started. They had to switch what the gangs meant. The gangs was the ones that was trying to make people aware of the drugs, but they had to do it in codes. So they ended up putting codes out the Bible and made gangs from the Bible codes. And then what they did by 2000 was wiped all that off, put them on the internet as the violent people, showed nothing but the violence and stuff, try to get rid of all the programs that we had, you know what I'm saying? And by 2010, that's when the snap era come. We try to get the magic back by switching the music, going into the crunk era and stuff, and getting the vessels back into you know what I'm saying, getting their bodies right, getting they control back. And then 2020, they was like, hey, shut that stuff down again, because we tried to drill stuff by the end of it. And then now we are here at 2025, and I'm just trying to get this string. It started uphill, so I done made some progress. All I keep doing is, you know what I'm saying, pull, you know. So yeah, getting that snake out. So everybody got hidden talents, got their own intelligence. It's not designed by law. If you look at everything the government does, even the public schools, they got all our records that they give to the people that's underground in these private schools. So you have to keep a permanent record, which makes you act a certain character. And once you act in that character, if you don't act the part that they give you, you then get your permanent record toe up. And now they want to teach you about credit, showing like, oh man, y'all could have been ahead. But if everybody knew the credit system, when nobody had no job. So that's the reset again to try to get your kids to have the credit and stuff to still get them control. Because they gonna have control for a little minute, but then if you read the Bible, it already told you that there's different gods. So with there being different gods, there's one that was over the water, there was one that was over the sky, and there's one that's over the shadows. So all of them been working. Like the one from the sky is presenting itself. You know what I'm saying? And we getting closer to the sky because now you can see the stars, the real stars outside. You can see they actually how the atmosphere works and stuff like that. Planes is flying a lot lower. The water is rising because the sea has more leverage with it, the ice caps melting, and the one in the shadow is hunting people like crazy. So everybody is becoming aware of the Trinity, and they all under a woman because that Big Bang Theory was a lie that discredit the womb that we're in, and the womb provides the room like really a symbol of like if you look at how your room is, it show you how your mind kind of is sometimes. So if you got like a lot of stress, it's because it's things scattered all around the room sometimes, and that's why they say cleanliness is next to godliness. Cleaning up your space can clear the head. Cause right now I'm in like a moving situation, so yeah, my room definitely a mess. Cause I keep thinking of me leaving the spot instead of appreciating the spot. That's why it's always about just staying focused on what you got. Cause when they told everybody to not pay rent, I was still paying mine, of course, but then something happened where a storm made it where I couldn't pay mine no more. And once I stopped paying it, like, man, it's been about 4 months free. But then them 4 months free is showing that if everybody would have stopped, they did not have enough police to cover all grounds to kick everybody and evict everybody out their space. Cause they done built too many places. With them building too many places, man, the government can shut down any minute, but it's all about the people. What their decision is gonna be. Hey, I finally got it out. And then don't be saying, oh, these kids want it easy. These kids want it easy. They are your kids. They supposed to want it easy because if you look at how great grandparents worked at these warehouses, they was passing away in them factories, getting sick from them factories. Before that, they was getting whipped and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Had chains on. Before that, who knows what the condition was, but it was worsened, and then it started easing up because it takes the mentality of the child to look at the generation before them to be like, hey, I know y'all just risking y'all body to pass away. You know what I'm saying? And if you just gonna perish working under people, there is no problem with it as long as society is being ran, but you have to be under the right sources, because if we ain't under the right sources, the wrong resources are going to be provided. That's why Jeff Bezos done replace people with machines. That's why you got Elon Musk saying he don't think people can think for themselves, so he gotta make chips. Then you got Bill Gates, who ain't probably ever had a home cooked meal, talking about people need to eat plastic. Like, these billionaires are villains, man. And this message probably ain't gonna get spread. They probably gonna erupt my page like they always do, because they be interrupting what I be talking about. But they need psychology help. They talking about mental health is a must, but then the people at the top is not getting no mental health. Like, they are the mental illnesses right now being spread. Somebody gotta be their friend. Like, they really need a genuine friend to be like, bro, why do you need all this money to try to rule the planet with machines and spy on people and then tell people how they should live? Like, but America is too much supply and demand.